Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again. Another reaction for guys. Take guys, of course, check out the next episode, the newest episode of The Last of Us. This is episode 6. No title as of yet, even though they should just already have a title, but I guess they wait till after the episode airs to put the title up on HBO Max. I'm not 100% sure. So last week's episode, Endure and Survive, which was a great title by the way, was brutal. We knew what the episode was about. Obviously, by the end of episode 4, we knew Sam and Henry, they were going to be in the episode, and they actually made the ending of the episode worse than the game in regards to their deaths. It was more emotional because Ellie tried, even though it wasn't going to work, tried with her own blood to help, Sam with his bite on his leg. And of course that wasn't going to work and everything. And then Henry, without even thinking, just shot his brother without even thinking, because he instinctively just had to do it. And then it ended with Ellie on that little pad that Sam wrote back and forth where they were communicating, and she wrote on it, "I'm sorry," and laid it over his grave that Joel had to dig for both of them. It's kind of crazy how this show has, it was kind of always based on the storytelling of the game. This story was going to be not about so much the infected and the horror of it all. It's more about the horror of the survivors, because literally the episode ended on such a bad note. We knew it was going to, but leading up to it, we had all this craziness in regards to Kathleen and all these people working with her, and they're showing up in that abandoned neighborhood. All of a sudden, here comes all of these infected, including a bloater, and it's like, oh my god, so much mayhem, and it's got you just like so hyped and excited because it was a big moment in the show. But then you end on this really personal, really sad moment that we knew was coming. We knew it was coming. So I like the fact that the show was making sure to focus mainly on the human element and the horror that they kind of face in regards to their connection and relationship, and the infected stuff and the bloater appearing and all that. That's a bonus to the storytelling, but it doesn't make the show good. What makes the show good is the characters, which obviously that's what made the game so good. So let's get into that. Let's check out episode 6, guys. I'm excited to get into the episode. We're getting closer to the end of the show. We have a few more episodes. Let's get into it. Oh, massive time jump. I didn't know he was in the show.
And the gun.
Who the hell are you?
Just someone passing through.
He didn't hurt me, by the way.
Yeah, I got eyes. You look anything like you?
Bit.
Then I ain't seen him.
He's got a girl with him.
Can I come down? Come on, there's like 1,000.
Who's this little psycho?
Never mind her.
This little psycho.
I need you to tell us where we are.
Came here before you were born, Sonny.
Oh, been
Get the hell
here.
away from everybody.
Wait for all
I
this.
didn't want to. We get those in the summer.
Not the bugs, the people.
Not the
There's
bugs.
Firefly,
What's past the river?
death. We never seen who's out there.
You don't seriously believe them.
They've lived here a long time.
They would know.
Joel, are you okay? I'm starving. Should have stolen 2 rabbits.
We can get our own rabbits.
You gonna teach me how? Can I have some?
No.
What, just to warm up?
Come on.
Come
I know you would like it.
It's so gross. Like, what do we do?
Oh, it's we?
Oh.
Okay, fine, whatever. You.
What do I do?
You can do anything you want.
An old farmhouse. Some land.
Hmm.
A ranch.
Cool.
I think that
Okay.
ends up happening, right? Yeah.
Sheep.
It'll work, right? The vaccine.
Unfortunately,
Some little make us start wondering. If she says they can do it, they can do it.
yeah, but the way they have to do it. As I knew he was asleep, he wasn't going to stay awake all night.
Still mumbling in your sleep. I woke up early. You were passed out, so I took second watch.
The problem
Wake
is,
me up next time.
but the problem is, you need your sleep too. Be careful.
You should teach me how to hunt.
Oh.
Huh.
Huh.
She's a girl. She can't handle it. Damn.
We're not Will Livingston.
Yeah, but who is? What if this is the river of death?
Could be. Oh, shit. Yeah.
We ain't looking for any trouble. We're just passing through.
Yep.
Drop the gun. If you're infected, he will smell it and he will rip you up.
Shit.
Now her.
You can't check her. She can't check her. Oh, shit. Make a decision. Something's gotta happen. Oh, thank God. I was worried.
Just looking for my brother. It's all, nothing more.
These kind of shots remind me of the Night's Watch in Game of Thrones. Yes. Usually they hug.
Actually, I don't think I've ever had a proper meal. This is fucking amazing.
At least she's honest.
Sorry.
Kids around here don't usually look or talk like you.
Right. Well, maybe I'll teach them. They say that you leave dead bodies around?
Those are the people who tried us.
A bad reputation doesn't mean you're bad. Would it be nice to have a moment here, maybe just for family?
Maria is
Oh.
family, actually.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Congrats.
School, laundry.
School.
Oh, bank works as the jail. Not that we've needed it.
You draw power from a dam.
And you got sheep.
Hey, Joe, check it.
Well, I'll take Ellie over there if you two wanna catch up.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's talk.
Yeah, okay.
So how's Tess?
Fine. All right. So you know where they might be, these fireflies?
Well, they got a base down at the University of Eastern Colorado. Yeah, I can't go.
Oh, come on. I made it across the country. The two of us can make it from here to Colorado.
And all they ask is that I follow their rules.
I'm your brother.
Yeah, I'm aware.
But he's stuck there, it
They're
seems.
very protective of this place. We murdered people. And I don't judge you for it.
But things have
We
changed.
survived the only way we knew how.
These last few months.
I'm going to be a father.
That's what's
Just
keeping
a few
him there.
months along now.
He needs that drink now.
Find out.
He's
Just because life stopped for you,
you know why
Doesn't
it
mean it
did.
has to stop
You
for
were
me.
you were there. This reunion wasn't gonna go well. It's unfortunate they can't stay here. That's a pretty nice place. Oh.
You were looking at the little memorial Tommy made?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we saw it.
Sarah was Joel's daughter.
First time she ever heard about this. Yeah.
I guess that explains him a little.
It explains a lot.
Look,
Now
I'm
you
not
know.
gonna ask you what you're doing with him.
Good.
But you stop killing people.
Innocent
Only
ones.
to protect.
Tommy did it too. You worried about him?
The only people who can betray us are the ones we trust.
Well, who to trust?
I'm an actor too.
This is weird.
Yeah.
At least they got movies, right?
Your mother knows. She's immune.
what?
She's immune.
From the beginning.
Tell me everything.
We made it as far as KC.
Where's she going?
I saw a man kill his own brother. To save her, well, I just watched. I couldn't think of anything to say. I was so afraid. I've lost something. I'm failing in my sleep.
It's all hitting him
all
at
I
once. We're compounding
It's all
over
I've ever
time.
done. I mean, it's what you took off on me, right? To make up for the things we did. And you can't tell anyone. Not even Maria. Tommy, you're the only one I trust. If anyone else sees those bites on her, I'll take her out at dawn.
Something's gonna happen though.
Ellie,
Yeah. Is she in there? Should be.
listen.
Why are you here?
I came here to talk to you.
No, why are you still here? I have to leave her. You have to take her.
She heard all that? Where was she at though?
He knows the area better than I do.
Do you give a shit about me or not?
Of course I do.
Then what are you so afraid of? Maria told me about Sarah, and
No.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel. But I've lost people too. Everybody I have cared for has either died
Yeah.
or left me. Everybody fucking except for you!
You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. We're going our separate ways.
I don't think that's the way the conversation should have went, but okay. She was expecting for a second that it was Joel and not him. Oh.
You
Okay.
say goodbye or something?
You deserve a choice. I still think you'd be better off with Tommy.
Let's go.
Damn, that was
Okay.
quick. Teach me how to
Right,
shoot?
right.
Yeah.
You're flinching.
The target's too small.
Wow, that shot.
We're called contractors.
He's actually talking to her. I like the turnaround here, you know?
Made it in 5 days.
Easy days. I don't know what Tommy was so afraid of.
Still time to find out.
I think he might start getting bad about it. Nah? Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah.
Well, you're singing for me later.
You're gonna sing for me.
Fucking world, man. It's the least you can do for me. Are those monkeys?
Must be from the old labs.
Oh, I remember that from the game, right? Yeah.
Ever seen a monkey?
There are definitely doctors here.
I mean, that doesn't exactly confirm that, but okay. Oh, it's a monkey. It's a monkey. Oh, shit. He had to do it. Had to do it. Had to do it. Whoa. Whoa, 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 what? Oh, my. Oh, shit. There you go. Go, Ellie.
They're not following us.
Well, he's not doing so well.
I think we're safe. We can't fucking do this without you. I don't know where the fuck I'm going.
Oh, my God.
What I'm gonna do.
Terrible. He's fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. And there you have it, guys. That was episode 6 of The Last of Us. And of course, they end on that kind of note. Now, we know Joel's not going to die. We know he's not going to die. But they had to end on a note like that because of the progression of the episode in regards to Joel and Ellie's relationship. Because in the middle there, it got really bad. It got to the point where they were going to go their separate ways because Joel was making the decision to separate. And then after the conversation with Ellie, it got really bad. So I understand on a tonal reason why they ended on that moment, because she's crying. She's like, I can't do this without you. And he literally is passed out from being stabbed. So they're traveling, and they've been traveling for 3 months. I think it said 3 months later from what I remember. And they're traveling along, snowy, and some time has passed. And they get some direction, and I forget that actor's name, but him and his wife were in that cabin or whatever, like off the beaten path in the middle of the woods, and they said, you're going this way, blah, blah, good luck, going past the river of death or something, and they were talking about the compound, essentially, that Tommy is in, and they shoot anybody that tries to fuck them over, and it makes sense, because they have literally everything. They have a school, they have plenty of food, they have movies, they have all these type of things within this compound. It's basically like a town within this walled up community. And it makes sense to protect it. That's why they had that dog sniff them out to see, is Joel infected? Is Ellie? And Ellie technically is infected, but is immune. But thankfully the dog was nice and everything, and because he was growling at first. Then he's like, oh, okay, Ellie, you're good. Because I was kind of worried, like, how are they going to explain that, right? Because the only other person that knows, besides Joel and Ellie, about Ellie's condition is now Tommy. Hopefully Tommy doesn't tell his wife, right? And thankfully she was there, because she's the one who stopped. Everything's like, he's like, well, we're just passing through. I'm trying to find my brother. He's like, what's your name? Joel. And she clearly has heard Joel before, the name. So, interesting how that all works out, like, thankfully Tommy's there, and he was taken in, and she's there. I'm trying to remember, did he have a wife in the game? I don't know. And I think they changed the actual, like, compound area, I think, that Tommy was in the game. I'm trying to remember exactly, because it's been a while since I played the video game. But it makes sense why she knows a lot of information, because she's married to Tommy, right? So they get in, and this is where Joel, like, they kind of showed it a little bit, but he is starting to break down with everything. When he starts feeling fear, he starts to, like, lose control, and he has to, like, calm himself down. And he's, like, trying to take it all in, this whole entire area. Of course, Ellie's being Ellie. The fact that she just doesn't care. She has no filter, which is great. And I like the fact that, they both got to see, even though, Joel was in not like this kind of compound area at the beginning of the story, not like this kind of area where it's more like there's not like no military-esque, like, strict policy or whatever that's kind of hovering over everything. And there's, like, it just seems like their place is way more, normal in a sense with all this going on in the world versus where Joel was at the beginning with Tess and everything. Which, by the way, of course, Tommy brings up Tess, and he lied about that. But then I think ultimately through the explanation, it's kind of, I don't know, did he actually talk about Tess in the explanation to Tommy during that whole thing? I don't know. But so Joel realizes he can't do this. He can't take Ellie. And Ellie actually, because see, I wasn't sure what they were explaining there, because when she's first walking out of the movie experience theater or whatever, because they were like, it's kind of strange. It was like kind of like a theater, kind of not, but she's walking through like the little town, whatever, and I'm okay. So she's just going back to the house. It turns out she was actually listening in, and I don't think they showed anything in that scene when Joel and Tommy are going back and forth about like she was actually like somewhere listening in. Like I don't know if they ever showed like an angle where you can kind of see her or something eavesdropping. I didn't see any of that, so I don't know where she was hearing all this. But she finally found them and was hearing all this, and the part she heard was, "You need to take her. I can't do this. She's better off without me." Blah blah blah. And then that's where the argument goes down, right? And I think the conversation with Joel and Ellie needed to happen, but not in that way, because Joel never opened up to her. And I understand why he didn't. I get the point, because because Ellie has to remind him of his daughter Sarah. Of course she does, in a way. But he's been this way for so long. The beginning of this, the end of the world, he loses his daughter, and it's been so long, and his whole life went into a different direction, and he made choices and did things he would never have done if everything was normal. But losing his daughter that early on, I mean, like, if that guy wouldn't have been there in that moment, she would probably still be alive with him, because he'd protect her the whole entire time, if it wasn't for that one moment of that guy standing there and then deciding he needed to shoot. And then, of course, thankfully Tommy shows up, but it's too late, unfortunately, because the gun went off and killed Sarah. So I get the point of the conversation, but obviously it wasn't going to go well, because Joel doesn't want to talk about Sarah at all. No. And Joel says, "Look, you're not my daughter. I'm definitely not your father," And then I was like, so what's going to be the turning point? And I'm thinking that moment when he walked away and said, "At dawn, we're going to go our separate ways. It's done." And then him thinking back on his daughter. And I was trying to remember, like what exactly was happening earlier before he has this conversation with Tommy. He noticed some girl or something in a Christmas tree, and then there's a mom. It didn't click in my head that he was thinking of his daughter. I was like, why is he staring at these two here? Like, oh, okay, that's what it is. It just didn't click in my head right away. I'm like, huh? But later, oh, okay, that's what it was, because he was thinking of her. And every time, because he told Tommy he has these dreams he can't remember, but he keeps losing in his dream. I think it's because he keeps losing Sarah. He keeps losing his daughter, and something like that. Probably every single time, he just not connecting in his head. It was pretty crazy, but I figured he was going to turn around after that conversation. And Ellie didn't even second guess. He's like, "You have a choice between me. Just, okay, let's go." And then, of course, they make it to the university and everything. And what's so interesting is that the insane turning point of where they're actually having conversations, because Joel was like 1-word, 2-word answers, and now they're actually having a full-on conversation about his job, football, what that was, because, of course, she has no idea what that is. And they finally get to make it to university. There's all these monkeys. I remember the monkeys in the video game. I remember that. And there's a couple of guys. And he gets stabbed. And it looks like they turn like the end of a baseball like bat into like a shiv type thing. And he didn't realize he was stabbed until he killed that guy. And then he falls over, and we know he's not dead. I'm curious, like, I didn't see the promo. I'm curious if the next episode's actually going to be the flashback with Ellie and everything. Because there was that moment too where Ellie says, "Everybody that I have cared for or loved or whatever, they've either died or they've abandoned me." And he says, you don't know what true loss is." It was just back and forth to where they both understand loss, but I think Joel was just not thinking clearly in that moment. And then the turning point, and then they're talking, they're actually having conversations, and yeah. I wonder how I just don't remember this part in the game at all. Maybe they did change. Maybe this is a change from the game. I can't remember. Like, I should have went back and played the game for the show started up, but it's really well done storytelling, And even before their conversation where Joel is asking Tommy to take her, that fight, what turned into a fight? Like, Joel couldn't emotionally be supportive of his brother in that moment, finding out that his brother's going to have a kid. Because he lost his kid. It's just not connecting for him to be, I mean, literally, he had to be told by Ellie to congratulate his brother on getting married. Because he couldn't do it. He just doesn't think in that moment. And then when he's being told, oh, by the way, I'm having a kid now, how do you think your brother's going to take that? I mean, you literally were there when he lost everything. You know, you were there in that moment, Tommy. But Tommy makes a point, but I don't know if I agree with it. Because I've not been in that situation where I've lost a kid, you know, and especially in that dire situation like that. He says, you know, just because your life hasn't moved on or your life hasn't passed, you know, mine can't. Like, mine isn't going to be that way, too. Like, basically, I'm not in that. But then again, Tommy, it wasn't your kid. So, it's conflicting, you know. Everyone deals with grief and everyone deals with loss differently. That's kind of what it is. But overall, this is a really not action-packed episode. I like the fact that Ellie was shooting at those guys towards the end when they're riding off. But yeah, and of course, the typical fashion. That guy got killed right by Joel, and then they're like, "You motherfuckers!" They were so mad at Joel. That guy went to attack them. Like, that guy would not have died if all 4 of those guys, who looked menacing, by the way, with weapons and shit. Of course, he stabbed Joel. If they would have just walked up and just talked, and there was no, like, issue of, like, oh, I'm going to kill you to take your horse or your weapons, which obviously that's probably what they were going to do, right? Like, you motherfuckers, like, they're mad at him, but you would have done the same thing. If Joel would have walked up on you guys, probably would have stabbed him or shot him or whatever. So, I love how they do that with this show. It's like a couple episodes prior, he shoots a couple of guys, you motherfuckers, when they're in Kansas City. It's like, but you shot at him first. You were trying to trick him into stopping the vehicle, and then you were probably going to kill them and take the vehicle and shit. So he's just defending him and Ellie. It's like, it's funny how that works. So, anyways, that's the video. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this episode of The Last of Us. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you have, please let me know in the comments below. I really enjoyed the episode. Can't wait for next week. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.